In the realm of extraordinary human stories that blend the frontiers of space exploration with the raw complexities of personal relationships, few cases stand out as dramatically as the one that unfolded between NASA astronaut Anne McClain and her former wife, Heather Worden. What started as a private marital dissolution spiraled into a public spectacle involving allegations of unauthorized financial access carried out from the International Space Station, ultimately leading to Worden's conviction and sentencing for making false statements to federal authorities. This narrative not only captivated global audiences due to its unprecedented space crime angle but also illuminated deeper themes of trust, deception, accountability, and the enduring power of truth in an era where personal disputes can intersect with high-stakes professional worlds. Anne McClain emerged as the central figure of integrity in this saga, a decorated astronaut whose career exemplifies dedication, resilience, and groundbreaking achievement in the field of human spaceflight. As a veteran of multiple missions, McClain has spent extended periods aboard the International Space Station, contributing to vital scientific research on everything from fluid dynamics and microgravity to the physiological effects of long-duration space travel on the human body. Her work has advanced our collective understanding of how humans can thrive beyond Earth's atmosphere, paving the way for future deep space exploration. At 46 years old during the height of the controversy, McClain represented the pinnacle of NASA's astronaut corps, highly trained, disciplined, and committed to the pursuit of knowledge that benefits all humanity. Her presence on the ISS during a 6-month expedition starting in late 2018 placed her in a unique position, far removed from earthly conflicts yet unexpectedly drawn into one through the actions of someone she had once shared her life with. The roots of the conflict trace back to the couple's marriage in 2014, a union that brought them joy in the form of a son but eventually gave way to irreconcilable differences. By 2018, the relationship had soured significantly, culminating in McClain filing accusations of assault against Worden, though those claims were later dismissed in court. The divorce proceedings that followed were marked by the typical strains of custody battles, asset division, and emotional turmoil, but they took an unusual turn when Worden leveled a shocking accusation in July 2019. She claimed that McClain had guessed her bank account password and accessed the account illegally while orbiting Earth on the ISS. Worden portrayed this as the first criminal act ever committed in space, a sensational detail that immediately ignited media interest and thrust the story into the international spotlight. Investigators from NASA's Office of Inspector General and the Federal Trade Commission launched a comprehensive probe into the matter. Their findings painted a clear picture that contradicted Worden's narrative entirely. The bank account in question had been opened by Worden herself back in April 2018, and for several months, both women had shared legitimate access to it as part of managing their joint household and family finances. McClain had been granted the login credentials by Worden as early as 2015, reflecting the trust that existed in their relationship at the time. Access continued until January 2019, when Worden unilaterally changed the passwords, effectively locking McClain out. There was no evidence of unauthorized activity from space or anywhere else. McClain's actions, where they occurred, were fully authorized and routine for someone handling shared responsibilities during a period of separation. Despite the exoneration that came from this rigorous investigation, Worden refused to accept the outcome. Instead, she persisted in promoting the false claims, reaching out to news organizations and enlisting the help of a media consultant to amplify her story. In doing so, she crossed additional boundaries by publicly disclosing some of McClain's private personal information, which only compounded the harm and added layers of violation to an already painful situation. This behavior not only prolonged the ordeal for McClain but also wasted valuable resources from federal agencies tasked with verifying the claims. The legal consequences for Worden were inevitable. In 2020, a federal grand jury in Texas indicted her on charges related to making false statements to government officials. The case moved through the courts over the ensuing years, with Worden eventually pleading guilty in November 2025 to the specific offense of providing false, fictitious, and fraudulent statements and representations to law enforcement. Her admission marked a turning point, acknowledging the baseless nature of the accusations that had once seemed so outlandish yet had real-world repercussions. The sentencing, delivered in a federal courtroom in the Southern District of Texas, reflected the seriousness of the offense while considering various factors in Worden's background. As a 51-year-old former U.S. Air Force intelligence officer, Worden possessed expertise in analysis and verification, skills that made her decision to fabricate and sustain the deception particularly striking. The judge imposed a sentence of 3 months in federal prison, followed by 2 years of supervised release. In addition, Worden was ordered to pay $210,000 in restitution, a sum intended to cover the investigative costs, legal proceedings, and any associated damages stemming from her actions. This outcome served as a measured but firm response, balancing punishment with the opportunity for rehabilitation under supervision.